I'm Ed Highland for AINtv. Congress has just passed the FAA Extension Act of 2008, deferring a decision on how to pay for a long-awaited modernization of the U.S. air traffic management system. Still unknown is whether the budget will be based on fuel taxes or on user fees. No one disagrees that the country's outdated air traffic management system needs a major upgrade to tackle flight delays. But the big question is how to pay for it. Earlier this year, the House passed an FAA bill that included higher fuel taxes rather than user fees. But the move was not replicated on the Senate side, and that's what forced Congress to resort to another temporary reauthorization. Now, NBAA is urging Congress to come up with a permanent solution without further delay. With elections looming large, the matter will now have to be resolved by a new president and a new Congress in the new year.
So we've supported modernization. We said we're willing to contribute to that, and we're willing to contribute through a fuel tax increase, not through user fees. And so we've supported all the proposals that are in line with that philosophy.
NBAA contends a fuel tax is much more efficient, more fair way to spread the cost of modernization.
We want a system that is broad enough that has enough capacity to facilitate all of our operations. And if that means we have to pay additional amounts, then we think that the most efficient and effective way to do so is through a fuel tax increase.
With the high cost of fuel, that tax would not come cheap. In fact, a bill passed by the Senate Finance and Commerce Committee would increase general aviation jet fuel tax from the current 21.8 cents a gallon to 36 cents a gallon. That move alone would provide approximately $240 million per year in additional funding. Fractionally owned aircraft and some light jets would also be subject to the fuel tax, adding about another $58 million per year to the fund. NBAA has made progress influencing Congress, but it is still unclear where the two presidential contenders really stand on the issue and whether either of them would act any more decisively. Republican Senator John McCain, who uses a business jet owned by his wife's company for campaign flights, voted against an amendment to eliminate the new $25 per flight user fee on general aviation. But his running mate is a strong supporter of general aviation and has taken a stand against user fees. In May 2007, Alaska Governor Sarah Palin signed a resolution in opposition to the FAA's plan to increase avgas taxes, impose user fees, and slash airport funding. Not surprising in a state heavily dependent on private flying. According to Barack Obama's website, he plans to work with Congress to modernize the nation's air traffic control system, but has not indicated how the improvements would be funded. McCain has also indicated he might favor a move to privatize air traffic control, but Barack Obama vehemently opposes putting ATC in private hands. NBAA leaders tell AINtv they will continue to fight user fees regardless of who's in the White House.
We've had some real success working with administrations from both parties in the past. And so, we welcome the opportunity to discuss the issues and present the case for modernization and building on fuel taxes as opposed to user fees, no matter who is in the White House.
Obviously, this is going to be an issue for some months to come. Let's get another perspective on the issue. Joining me now is Eric Norber, who is the owner of ELJ Aviation. ELJ is an aircraft management company, and Eric is a pilot and also an aviation consultant. Now, Eric, once again, we have a delay. It just really seems like this thing is dragging on.
It really does. It's another case where the Congress has prolonged a situation that needs to be resolved. When I speak with my customers, who are by and large owners of private aircraft, they really do want to see the Congress settle the issue of how we'll fund the growth or evolution of our air traffic control system.
Does this delay cause some additional problems? I mean, the money's not coming in, so the system can't be upgraded.
Yeah, I think the problems are significant and they're already there. The problems are getting worse every day we don't have a solution. So So really, we do need to move towards one solution or another and continue to, or move into a phase of the evolution of air traffic control.
Obviously, it's an unscientific polling, but what are your people saying about the choices that they would make between a user fee and a fuel tax?
In casual discussions, my clients are chiming in on the side of a fuel tax, which they feel would be a bit more balanced way to spread the cost across aviation, whether it's to airlines or corporate users. Although really, at the core of it, they just want to see the issue settled so we can move on and help repair the system.
Since this is a political year, I'll use the term dark horse. Is there another option? Is there something else out there, or are we pretty much going to make the choice between these two options?
There are other options out there that we're not really fully embracing yet as part of the discussion. Some countries are embracing the concept of partial or total privatization of air traffic control systems as a for-profit way to fund their evolution and growth. I think that at some point our country will start to bring that concept into the dialogue, but we're not fully there yet.
Eric Norber of ELJ Aviation, thank you so much once again for joining us. And stay with AINtv for all the very latest news on this controversial issue. I'm Ed Highland.